Excellent, and it's not in hindsight. After they won the game, you felt that KKR was lacking a bit of depth in both batting and bowling. So the smart thing that they did was they tried to add a little more depth to their bowling, and picking Varun was very interesting. He seems to be another version of Sunil Narine. So they had as many as 7 bowling options, and wonderful use of those bowling options.
Well, they are in a very unique position is what I feel, that in the top 6, they've got 2 bowlers in Sunil Narine and Andre Russell. So that allows them to play an extra bowler. And in fact, if they continue to open with Sunil Narine, and that they should have any which way, even though he got dismissed against SRH because of the lack of pace in the Hyderabad bowling lineup, that batsman at number 7, whoever that batsman may have been, would have been absolutely rendered useless. So the better option was to actually try another bowler. Varun Chakravarthy was not that big a gamble in my opinion, because he had the cushion of 6 more bowlers around him.
Yes, in the first match, they realized that their intention of blooding these young, sort of reasonably raw fast bowlers into a big IPL game, giving them the first few overs would be a nice way to do it. But then they realized that Pat Cummins, their big strike force, was almost neutralized when he came in the 5th or 6th over. So this was something that we all expected. Good move to give him the new ball, and it was a good thing that they bowled him so many overs in the first half of the innings.
I think there were two sides to this story. One, if you have David Warner and Johnny Bairstow as openers, the cream of Sunrisers batting is right at the top. So you need to get your best bowler to dismiss them. I feel it was due that if you have a bowler like Pat Cummins, who's also not your gun death bowler, by the way. So even though you've spent 5th, that doesn't make him a gun death bowler. He's a guy who is a great bowler with the new ball, will use the conditions and will give you wickets. And you find somebody else to do that dirty job towards the end, and they've already identified Andre Russell to do it.
We've seen SAHA is a limited batsman and struggles a little more when he's batting down the order. When he's sent to open and hit the ball over the infield, he's a lot more free doing that. So it was a move based on this kind of logic, but I thought Nabi should have been the player. So it wasn't a move in fact, it was actually in the end a very expensive mistake.
Priyam Garg and Abhishek Sharma, both of them were playing this game. They also played the first game. They should have sent them ahead of him, because at least they had played some cricket, even if it's one game. And they were picked to play second game on the bounce. You'd rather go with them and not with SAHA. SAHA tried his best, and I also feel if you are going to play SAHA, of course, Vijay Shankar was injured and they had to get somebody who could bat in the middle order, but SAHA is not that guy. If you're playing SAHA, you need to make him open. If he can't open, then just keep him as a parachute in the end. If everything goes wrong, you send SAHA to just stem the rot.
A lot of the IPL is won at the auction tables. A lot of coaches, owners have told me that is where you've got to really, do a good job. Now, when you look at the power hitters over the years now, they had Vijay Shankar a couple of years back hoping to do that job, but that, Vijay Shankar seems to have gone down in confidence. So he was the person who was supposed to do it. Wasn't Deepak Hooda also with them, supposed to be a power hitter for a while? That didn't work. So they're still looking for one, and I don't think they have one.
They could definitely have used Mohammad Nabi a little better, because I felt that his selection was based on the fact that he can bat. And somebody who could actually contribute with the bat. The other option is definitely Kane Williamson, but then Manish Pandey is at his best when he's batting at 3. So you'll have to push Kane Williamson at 4. Ideally, I don't like this. When you see your 3 out of your top 4 are overseas batsmen, and you have very little Indian batting to follow, that's a recipe for disaster. But then there is nothing that they can actually do to change it. Sunrisers Hyderabad, I don't see a lot of solutions to the problems that they're facing right now.
So GILL getting runs and in this kind of a run chase being successful is not a surprise, but it was just a pleasure watching him bat, and his domination of Rashid Khan is one of the few guys who knew exactly which was the leg spin, which was the googly. I love the way he just hit him down the line towards long off, depending on which spin it was to pick up singles. For KKR to get into the playoffs, it's important that Morgan finds form. Morgan had enough time to get the runs, and in the end, he saw his team through. He's got the experience, so whenever he gets his form, and I think the IPL anxiety that was within him seems to have dissipated a little bit.
If you're looking for form, you want this Sunrisers Hyderabad fast bowling to begin with. Spinners were quite good, but you were not forced to go after them, and that's ideal for Shubman Gill. Who's a technically very compact kind of player who has all the shots in the book, the cricketing shots, and he put out a good display of that. Morgan is a class act. They've got him for a reason, that he's someone who will give them that impetus in the second half of that innings, along with Andre Russell. These two have shown that they have the pedigree, they have the class, they've got the runs now, so other oppositions beware.